Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. I know it's New Year's Eve, but I figure we're all going to be spending time in our living rooms and choosing what jammies to wear and what quilts to make or projects to do. And I thought, well, let's talk about everything that sparkles. And so I'm talking about metallic today. What does metallic do on a batik, or how do you apply it? When do you start thinking about it? And how would you use it, I guess. So I've done it in a few different collections, and I'm going to kind of go through my thought process, I guess, and feel free to ask questions. um, if you post just say hello, or ask a question. I will draw a name and send you some fat quarters, and hopefully it'll have some metallic in it. Okay. Who do we have joining us? I think Judy's here. Hello, hello, everybody. Paul, thanks for joining me. All right, so let's talk about metallic. Generally, with quilting cottons, we don't necessarily use metallic that much. We don't look for it and say, "Oh, I want to make it," a quilt project that has that kind of sparkle. But what I like about it, when I'm thinking of projects, is I like that unexpected little flicker in a project when you're looking at a quilt and you say, "Oh, wow, isn't that interesting? Ah, it's got a little shine." Kind of, if you think about it. Um, like a reflection, right? But the first thing you got to think about is what's the color that it is without the metallic. You understand what I'm saying? What is the ground color? So, for instance, a silver metallic is gray, right? Comes across gray because it's not, it depends if the light catches it, whether or not that motif is going to look metallic. So that's the first question. Does it fit? Kind of like Coco Chanel says, you can put all this stuff into your outfit, but then make sure you take a look at yourself before you leave, look in the mirror and remove one thing. Isn't metallic that one up, that too much? So it has places where it belongs, I think. And I'm not over the top when I go to use it, I guess. I like it as a background or a secondary design element. Oh, that's a good way to put it, I think. A design element as opposed to the focus of the entire collection. I design by collection, as you know, for Banyan Batiks because I'd like to keep everything cohesive and it goes into a project really well. Okay, so let's talk about where I've used it. If you look here on this particular one, this is from At the Pier, and those are wind barbs. Does everyone know what the wind barbs are for? Um, the wind barbs show where, like, that's how weathermen start to predict hurricanes or different wind forces, that kind of thing. So each little flag has something um, different that it means and how close they are together. But anyway, if you see here, we've kind of got metallic and silver on there, right? Because I used the gray in the wind barbs on that one. Okay, so it shows up periodically on that one. My other one that I used it a little bit more is the Ride On collection. What I did is I did this right here, and this is a larger motif, isn't it, than normal batik? Okay, the spokes and wheels, and then we did the spokes separately. And if I move it a little, you can see it kind of glows, right? So it's almost like a double chop application or two applications, okay, with the metallic over it. All right. Now it shows up periodically throughout the fabric. How would you use it? Well, you would cut up this piece of fabric just like you would use any piece for quilting. And I have the quilt right here behind me that I've used it. And you can see right here, let me pull this down. Right here in the fore patch, it's got just a little bit of the metallic is fit right in there. I didn't care. I just chopped it up. But that gives a little bit of sparkle to a pretty predictable kind of quilt, right? It's a fore patch on point. And then this just grabs your eye. Of course, the gorgeous Ride On collection grabs your eye too, right? But that's all it is a design element. Now, when you go about applying this, um, you're gonna do the application of color just like you would do with a normal batik. You do the chop design, you do all of that, and then just before the finishing process, you go and you put metallic on. And it's done through a screen, and then it's heat set on. So is it going to pick off? Is it going to flake off? No. Is it going to come off when your needle hits it? No, it's not. Okay. On this one, you can also see it. Again, it's the right on. You can kind of see where the metallic is. So it's only it's a design element. Chop it up just the same as you normally would in any fabric for your quilt. Okay. Another place where I used it, I thought, okay, let's make it this time a little bit more prominent, a little bit more focused. I used it in the Stardust collection, and that's going to be in stores, I think, January, February. So you'll have to check your bin in Batiks product finder guide. But what I did is I did the normal chop design. You can see here the normal chop design. And then I did an overlay of the metallic, right? And that's a pretty prominent amount of metallic. I did dots though, right? Can you see how the dots are in there to form the circles? I thought it was kind of fun. So there's a lot of movement in this particular one, and it's more focused. Now, when I did this, I made sure that I only did it in the one print, because, you know, I wanted to show that the rest of the collection supports that. And of course, if you like metallic, then you can actually absolutely bring in that print. And then there's the supporting ones to go with it, right? Okay, so how would you use that one? I have a quilt. I just got it back from Barb Wolf. She quilted it for me. If you're looking for a long arm, highly recommend her. Okay. But I used it in this quilt here in the border, okay? And you can see on this one, the metallic I used was gold. Isn't that pretty? All right. This quilt, you're going to see coming up. It's a sneak peek because it's for a shop hop that's coming up, I think this spring. I'm so excited. I want to get back to doing shop hops and I'm going to guilds and all of that kind of thing. So, very excited for 2020 to end, just like the rest of you. But anyway, I used it, right, as the border. I also used the other color of it. Oh my goodness, I'm going to open this up a little bit. I used the other color of it in the 4-patch block, and you can see there in the wine color. All right. So you can use it in a more prominent place if that's something that you really enjoy, is the metallic. All right. Another place that I used it in a collection, and like I said, I use it a little more reserved. I'm a little more reserved with my metallic application. I used it in my graphics, and you can see right here we've got a little bit of metallic on there. Can you see it? Okay, and then on here I went rose gold. Can you see it? It's almost like little Hershey Kisses on there, just the outline of it. It's right here on this particular print. Okay, so it's a design element. It's not a focus. It's just a little something. So when I got into rose gold, now all of a sudden I'm not just going straight up metallic. I'm not going silver and gold, right? I'm not picking one of those two. I'm saying, can we color the metallic? So that is a pearlized look, coloring the metallic. Well, if we can do rose gold, then why can't we do other colors, right? And Daphne Gregg had a collection called Tappa Cloth. And I think we showed that on one of the posts this morning. But at Tappa Cloth, she had these just really cute design elements with a triangle, okay? And it was a pink triangle. She likes the monstera leaf. So I made sure to do, so this is a double chop application. And then I went and heat set some metallic over it. And you can see it's pink, right? So if the light doesn't catch it, it's just a pink element on there, and it helps coordinate the rest of the collection, okay? But then if the light does catch it, it's got the little pink pearlized metallic, and you can see on there as well, okay? This one, it's a little more, you can kind of see it there, right? It looks very pale pink, and then if I move it, it kind of catches the light. And that's the point of it. You want to catch, when you're making a quilt, you want people to view your quilt and keep your eyes moving within the quilt, right? Not go on to the next quilt. You want to keep it and contained. That's why we put a border on it. Contain the movement of the viewer's eye in the quilt. And this is just another little something that you can use, Okay, so now we're talking pearlized. Well, why don't we just go really pretty soft? I don't know if you can see this because it's on a cream, a soft, soft pink. And this one may be easier to see. It's a soft blue um, on that one. Okay, so it's like a turquoisey blue, very pretty. Now this is from my intaglio collection, which means etching. So like etchings, you see that kind of metallic look, right? In windows and things like that. So I thought it'd be fun to try it on that collection. The essentials I have, the one essential that I use it just sparingly, a little bit of metallic is luster, and it's just dots of metallic. I think on this blue you can see it pretty good. Okay, there are white dots, but then I fooled the eye a little bit and put some silver dots in there as well because I thought it was something different, shimmery. That's a good word. I like it. I like shimmery. It's not in your face. I'm not going for in your face, right? It's just a design element. So you can see the little bit of silver in there, okay? And then on this one right here, I think the greens, I used a little bit of gold, all right? So there's a little bit going on with the luster, but you can see in the luster, it just is in this one here, red and gold. It's a wonderful traditional kind of look, but you can see it just adds just a touch, just a little element into your quilt. So it kind of is fun to play with the metallic. All right. So I use the metallics on the batiks, but I don't go I don't do a background and then just go all in metallic. I use it, like I said, as a design element. All right. So the batik is done. It's scrunched up, colors applied, and then the chop is applied with a wax to hold that color. It's bleached out. It's then applied for the background, and then we apply a metallic on it with a screen, with a hand on screen, and then we heat set it. Okay, so it doesn't flake off. No, it doesn't flake off. So that's how the metallic is done. Now, how do I determine whether or not to put metallic on something? If it warrants it, if it's not over the top, if it's something that could be like the Ride On collection. You know, when you see bikes going, they kind of glow in the, you see a reflection, they kind of glow in the sun. So that made it easy to do, right? Daphne Gregg's collection, I wanted that little triangle to show up because that was a design element I saw in some watercolor painting and stamping that she had done, and I thought it would be an interesting element. With luster, it's a sophisticated essential, and I think it warranted it. Here's a bigger piece of the luster so you can see it. Oh, look, I cut a corner out of it. Okay, so anyway, you can kind of see a little bit of it. Some of it is white dots in there, but there's also metallic in there too. Okay, so that's all I was going to talk about today is metallic and everything that sparkles and shimmers. And I hope all of you have a wonderful New Year's Eve and warm pajamas by the fire tonight. I think we're all we're staying in. I don't know about you, but let me know what projects you're going to use your batiks for this next year. I'd like to see them. Okay. Thanks for joining me today.